I say Ella, you say Faith. Ella, Ella. Can I get some claps? Can I get some? Hey, 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 hey. So let me dance for myself now. I said when I say Jackson, you say State. Jackson, Jackson. I said when I say Ella, you say Faith. Ella, Ella. I said when I say Jackson, you say State. Jackson, Jackson. When I say Ella, you say Faith. Ella. In the back. When I say Jackson, you say State. Jackson, Jackson. When I say Ella, you say Faith. Ella, Ella. Come on now. Keep clapping. Just a warm up. Congratulate yourself. Make some noise. Congratulate yourself for being here today. Yeah. We gotta come on. Just don't be quiet on it. Come on. I like this group. I like this group. I like this young man. One more time. Rock it. Yeah, yeah. When I say Jackson, you say State. Jackson, Jackson. When I say Ella, you say Faith. Ella, Ella. When I say Jackson, you say State. Jackson, Jackson. When I say Ella, you say Faith. Ella, Ella. Inform the mind, inspire the heart. Come on now, I said inform the mind, inspire the heart. Everybody say inform the mind, inspire the heart. One more time, inform the mind, inspire the heart. Give yourself a round of applause. Hey, yeah. Yeah. That's right. That's it, guys. That's all I got. I'll see you guys next time. Oh, man. Oh, man. President Hudson, Dr. Turner, Dr. Campbell, I want to thank the individuals who have welcomed me into this community. Not only today, I got in yesterday, and the conversations that I've had just being here have been amazing. It's interesting because when you're introduced or when you come in as an individual outside of a community, you really have to embrace that opportunity. So I first want to tell you how much respect I have for the tradition of Jackson State, how amazing it has been to be received, not just by those staff and faculty, but literally people all across, whether it's just a smile or a wave or just a common handshake. And I think that says a lot about the family and the community and the people that are here. If you're with me, say yeah. If you're with me, say, oh yeah. Oh, yeah. So I just want to let you all know that it has been an honor and a privilege just to be here. And I want to talk today about how do we elevate? How do we embrace? And how do we engage? And I was thinking about the ways in which I wanted to kind of bring the energy to this moment. And I was thinking, man, the team around the team. Let me tell you a little bit about where I come from so you get an understanding. Like, I am a self-proclaimed mama's boy. I grew up as the youngest of 7. In fact, my mom actually, she was born in a country in East Africa called Uganda. And in 1979, she took my younger siblings on a one-way ticket to the United States. She had my little sister in her arm, my twin brothers right next to her, and my oldest brother next to her. And they were leaving and they were fleeing the country because of a dictatorship. And the one thing that they knew, the one thing that my mom had on her mind was that my children won't be able to grow up in an environment and get the same opportunities if we stayed here, so we have to leave. And she was abiding by this principle that I live by to this day. Everybody repeat after me. Education equals opportunity. One more time. Education equals opportunity. So when I started my journey in 1990, 11 years later, when I got to Sacramento, California, 7 of us growing up in a 2-bedroom apartment, I had so much energy. I had so much conviction. And I understood that if I did my work in the classroom, I was paying my mother back in the way that I was supposed to. Everything that I was doing, like the way that I was moving, I felt as though there's a quote by Maya Angelou. She says, when I walk into a room, I come as one person, but I stand as 10,000, right? And what she was saying was each and every day when I walk into new rooms and capitalize on opportunity, I'm not just doing it for myself. I understand that I'm standing on the foundation of people who have laid and sacrificed for me to be there. I share that with you because I think about today, and as we start this new year, Jackson State family, and I see people, faculty and staff, and I think about the team around the team. Individuals who pour into other individuals and let them know you can dream big too. Right? Like, I understand that I might not be primarily in your journey, but I understand that there is a community, that it takes a village to raise a child. So when I talk about these people and I think about my own experience, I'm thinking, man, I'm so excited because I'm in a room of leaders who are growing leaders. Individuals who are literally pouring into young people so that they can understand that the dreams that they have are possible. You know, I don't say this just as lip service. I say this as an individual walking in mine. I think about the people who have literally paved the way and I go, man, if it weren't for those along the way, I wouldn't be here. Quick story. I remember when I was growing up, very quickly in our apartment complex, my mom would work shifts late night, so there wouldn't be opportunities for her to be there. So there was a community mother. Her name was Alba. And Alba would literally watch over us while Moms was going and working and doing her thing. And Alba didn't ask for a dime. Anybody relate? There's like the mom who doesn't have the kids, but she's like everybody's mom. Does everybody know what I'm talking about in the community? You're with me. So I was raised by an Alba, right? Team around the team. I remember in middle school, there was a coach called Ed Reed. And I would play basketball, and after basketball, my mom was late working. So I would sometimes 6, 7, 8 p.m., and Ed Reed would not leave Sutter Middle School until I was picked up. I remember those moments. Can I get some snaps? Is anybody with me as I'm? Okay. I want to share these points because I just want to remind you all. I hope when you see me up here right now, you're remembering that the work that you're doing is tied to these students. And the sacrifices and the work that you're doing, they see it. They feel it. I remember every single individual who didn't have to do something extra that did something extra for me along my journey. And when we remember that, there's something so powerful. Everybody repeat after me, what's your why? Oh, with a little bit of energy. Everybody repeat after me, what's your why? So what's your why is simple. It's just this idea that why do we do what we do? Right? Sometimes we're always connected to the what. This is my job and this is how I do it. It's fantastic. But on days when it gets difficult, it's not enough. The second part of that circle is how we do it. Sometimes we can do it with a little bit of energy, a little bit of urgency. Sometimes we understand the ways in which we walk into the room. Y'all tracking? But this last piece, to me, why do we do it? Why do we do it? What are we connected to, and how do we see ourselves being a part of a vision that's grander than us? That's larger than us, so that we can pour into young people so that they can feel as though when it's their opportunity to stand tall, when they might be going against something called imposter syndrome and they experience fear, they remember that there were individuals who poured into them that said, you got it. I know you're shaky right now, but you'll be okay. No, I know you've experienced failure. I get it. But understand that failure will be your teacher on the journey. Remember, I believe in you. Those are the moments that I remember. And when I see this room, that's what I see. If you feel me, say yeah. Oh man, in the back, if you feel me, say oh yeah. So let's talk about it. How do we elevate? How do we embrace? How do we engage? When I think about elevate, the first thing that came to mind for me was the stronger and the taller that a tree grows, the stronger and the deeper the roots need to be. Right? They talk about the sequoia tree, 250 feet tall, the tallest tree in the world. And what's most amazing about the sequoia tree is that its roots are firmly planted into the ground. And when I think about that, I think about what has been said on this stage already. Acknowledging those who are with us. Right? Before we elevate, we must have a firm foundation. Everybody repeat after me, acknowledge. As a leader, I'm learning this, and I just wanted to share this. Before we elevate, we acknowledge those who are the people to our left and to our right. Right? When we paddle on the boat, if we don't acknowledge those who are putting the work in, that boat's going to get a little, right? So along our way, by show of hands, how many leaders do I have in the room? I'll say this again. Leaders of family, leaders of young people, leaders of students, leaders of yourself, leaders of a community, leaders of people around you, leaders all around, leaders in your own life, leaders in other people's life. So I ask the question again, how many leaders do I have in the room? Oh, it looks different. Oh, I need that elbow to lock. How many leaders do I have in the room? Everybody look around for a moment. Everybody say leadership. 1, 2, 3. Leadership. Say it with some energy like a leader. 1, 2, 3. Leadership. Say it with some energy like a leader. 1, 2, 3. Leadership. Leadership. Leadership is not a title. Leadership is an action. Oh, come on now. Leadership is not the title that you possess. Leadership is the way in which you walk into the room and share that title and share those responsibilities and bring the people along with you that are next to you. Leadership is about collaborative efforts. How often do we see the people that are next to us and allow the time to acknowledge their efforts? I'm learning this on my own journey. I'll be honest with you, Jackson State family, for a moment. A lot of my work for the last couple of years, I've been privileged and honored to go to institutions, communities, and organizations within the United States and outside, and I'm learning about how different institutions prosper, how they go. And so I had this idea about leadership, like leadership means you gotta step in, there's a way in which you lead. I was in Las Vegas 1 month ago, and I was speaking to a senior executive in a company. It's a multi-million-dollar software company, and on my journey, I'm a student. I like learning. I'm like, so how do you lead? How did you build this thing? And I have all these ideas of what I thought leadership was. And the number one thing he said, along the way, the thing that I've learned most about leadership is the importance of acknowledgement. I said, say more. He said, along my journey, I've realized that it's one thing to just produce results on the journey. But when you understand that that journey will actually have ups and downs, highs and lows, valleys, and you will go through things with people, if you don't acknowledge the people that you're with, you will look around and be by yourself. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I thought leadership was about like going in, like producing the result and going and getting it. And it hit me, and I remember the quote in Maya Angelou, and we heard it earlier, and it says, people may forget what you say. People may forget what you do, but people will never forget how you make them feel. And for me, on my journey, I've never forgotten that, ever. Ever. Even in my state, even in the work that I do now, sometimes I slip, sometimes I forget, sometimes I mess up. But what I'm learning on my journey is that when you come with the right heart, when you come with the right energy, when you come with the right intention, people catch it. They be like, you know what? You could have said this like this, but I like your heart. I follow you because your heart's right. You're in the right space. And when you do that, people rock with you. Oh, am I by myself here? Oh, I need some energy. If that rocks with you, let me know with some energy in here. Yeah. Leadership is not a title. Leadership is an action. Leadership is not the title that you have, it's the way in which you show up into the room. Everybody repeat after me, embrace. Say it with some energy, embrace. Who embrace adversity? Ooh, embrace adversity. We were having lunch earlier, and I was learning about, some of the things that you guys as a family, as Jackson State family, have dealt with even in the last couple of years. For a higher education institution to go through a pandemic, for a higher education institution to go through a water crisis, and still show up, whether it's virtually or in person. Can you give yourself a round of applause for even being here? When I think of adversity, when I think of embrace change, adversity, if looked at with the right perspective, can become our advantage. Right? We're going along a way and we face something that shakes us, something that doesn't allow us to just move forward in the very ways that we move forward. Now we have to look with a new perspective at how we are going to go forward. I often think of adversity as the tool that life gives you to shape and mold who you are to become. Like adversity is the very thing that says, do you really want the vision that you said that you want? Are you able to adjust and understand that you can lean on the people to your left and to your right, and it's not just about you? Right? The adversity becomes the advantage when we put ourselves in a position to say, not why is this happening to me, but what is this teaching me? Give me some energy. I'm with you. I'm an energy guy. Come talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. I think adversity is our advantage when we can look at it and see it from another perspective. When we can put ourselves in that situation and say, you know what? I need to learn something from this. I'll take you back for a moment, my time as an undergraduate, as a student. And I don't know how many people have dealt with failure here before. I'll just be by myself. I'm the only one who failed. But there's this course. I don't know if anybody's heard it. Anybody heard of the course, Organic Chemistry? Yeah? I got shivers right down my back right here thinking about the class. Right? So you got to imagine I'm like a sophomore in college, and I'm on that track, that medicine school track, and I'm African, so if you got to either be an engineer, a lawyer, or a doctor. Anything else, what are you doing? So I'm like, okay, the doctor thing is on. That's what I'm gonna do. I walk into this class. It's called Organic Chemistry. It's the second test of the semester. Follow me. I go in. I study. I promise you, Jackson State family. I promise you, I study. I go in. It's called McCosh Hall at Princeton University. I go in. You take the test. It's one of those scenes where it's kind of it's intimidating because 100 people take the test at the same time, right? So you're in there and you're like, all right. I'm like, he's done? Okay. Oh, y'all finished too, huh? Okay. I finish the test, right? I leave. Week passes. We get the test back, right? So not the professor, but the assistant professor comes in and gives me the test. She pulls me to the side. She goes, Isaac, did you she goes, did you know? She lets me look at it. She goes, did you know? Did you know there was another half to the test? Yeah, right. Yeah, wow, yeah. I go, yes. Yes, I did all that I could. I filled out everything. Jackson State family, I gave it my all and I failed. I dropped the ball in another way, to the point where they had to sit me down and go, are you sure you even are you ready for this? And it's funny now, but at the moment it was crushing. It was crushing because I was on one path to do one thing and life said no. And I'm like, man. What was funny about it was I switched. I came back. I'm like, all right, let me look back at what I really want to do. I look back at majors, and I'm looking at sociology. So I switched because I really enjoy it. Like, I'm talking really enjoy it. I enjoyed the studying of relationships, building with people, of how we are so interconnected in our world. And I'm like, man, that's my nature. That's good. I remember I was in one class, and it was the only class where I did extra studying because I enjoyed it so much. You following me? So now I'm following a passion. I learned about this study called The Strength of Weak Ties by a professor named Mark Granovetter from Stanford University. He was talking about networking, how to cultivate personal and professional relationships for your personal development. I was reading, I was like, I like this. He was talking about how 70% of graduates, when they leave college, their first job is going to be through their own network. And many undergraduates never build great professional relationships, so that is why there's such underemployment at that space. I said, we're on to something. A couple years later, I returned to Princeton University and I start teaching the very principles that I was learning. Networking, how to build professional relationships and cultivate them in the right way, how to tap into the alumni database and reach out and listen to people's stories. The construct of an informational interview, I'm like, whoa, young people need to know this. It's not just about what you study when you're here. It's about the relationships that you build. This is how you put together a real career. I'm like, man, this is good information. 3 years later, I said, you know what? I'm done teaching it. Now I want to write a book about it. 10 chapters, 190 pages for young people. Self-published it. A year passes and I'm a best-selling author because, come on now. I'm not saying this to impress you. I'm trying to impress something upon you about embracing change. When we take our adversity and we turn it into our advantage. When we see something and we say, am I supposed to pivot? Was I supposed to fail just to cry in my own? Am I just supposed to sit here and cry about it? Or is he giving me something where he's saying, I'm going to pivot you and put you in a place, in a position that is absolutely destined for your talent and your greatness? I learned that the hard way, but I learned that. And now when I'm in situations, when I get to talk to young people, I get to say, you know what? I need you to know that whatever you're going through, don't just run from the adversities. Don't just tell me about the strengths and the highlights. Don't just tell me about the successes and where you went and how great it was. Tell me about the long nights where you thought you weren't going to make it. Tell me about the nights where you didn't know what to do and you had to pull from different resources to make it. Because those are the stories that are going to make you. Those are the stories that are going to shape you and mold you. Those are the things that really make us. And oftentimes we run from those. As individuals, as companies, as institutions, as organizations, we run from the things that scare us. We run from those stories. And I'm learning on my own journey, when you embrace your failures and you turn it into your story, it becomes your power. It becomes your power. If anybody's with me, talk back to me. It becomes your power. If you feel me, say yeah. If you feel me, say oh yeah. I love it. I love it. Our adversity is our advantage. Remember that leadership is not a title. Leadership isn't, leadership is not a title. Leadership isn't, that's good. We turn our adversity into our advantage. We turn our adversity into our leadership is not a title. Leadership isn't. We turn our adversity into our. I like that. And last but not least, everybody say engage. One more time with some energy. Everybody say engage. Leadership is not a title. Leadership is an action. Failure is our teacher. We turn our adversity into our advantage. Engage. How do we engage with the people that are on our team, the team around the team? Right? How do we acknowledge those who are on the path with us so that they can feel empowered while we go on our journey? I want to talk about something real for a moment. This is personal, but I want to go there. I want to talk about, everybody repeat after me, fear. I want to see if that hits. One more time, everybody say fear. Yeah. I've learned on my own journey, I just want to share this in this moment. Fear of change stops us from pursuing our real dreams. Okay. I was in Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. Wild, right? End of last year. I'm doing my thing. I speak to students. In my whole position, what I try to do is allow students to understand that any dream that they have is absolutely possible, right? I like to put it in a song. I say dream big. D is for desire, and R is for resilience, and E is for excellence, and A is for ambition, and M is for motivation, because this is how we dream, but we dream big. B-I-G, believe in greatness, right? I want young people to know that. But on my journey, I'm 9,000 miles away from home, delivering my story to 5,000 people. 100 countries are broadcasted in, and I'm asking them, why did you ask me to be here? Jackson State family, I'm experiencing the most real imposter syndrome of my life. I don't understand how I've been put in this position, but I want to understand something. And I hope this relates, because I understand that right now Jackson State is at a point in time where they're about to elevate. Different things are going to be called upon you. You're going to be put in different situations that's going to ask more of you than once was before. You rocking with me? So I'm in this situation and I'm like, all right, they're saying, I need you to tell your story. I'm like, all right, I've done this before, but this is different. So I'm experiencing fear, and I just come back to it, and I just let them know, like I've told you all before, I'm the youngest of 7. I'm a mama's boy. I understand that every room that I walk into is an absolute opportunity that I never take for granted. Any person that I connect with, I try to leave them better than I found them. I remember the quote by Emerson that says, every person that I meet is in some way my superior, and in that way I shall learn from him. I understand that the communities that we build are everything that we have to do. We have to be a part of the community to then lead the community. I talk about leadership. And in the ways that I was talking about these things, they said, that's what we need for these young people. I said, okay, I'm going to do it. So I step up, but I have fear. Rock with me, Jackson State family. I have fear in my heart. I'm honest. But I'm feeling something like I was called to do it. Like someone needs me to step up regardless of the fear. And I remember the quote that my mom told me that I live by now. It said, courage is when you move, when you feel the fear and you act anyways. Hear me, someone. Courage is when you feel the fear, you're stepped into the new position. They ask you to do the new work, right? You have to lead a team that you've never led before. You're in a new thing. You experience a new type of adversity, but you step up anyways when you feel the fear. Are you rocking with me? So I'm in a position, I'm saying, I got it. I'm going to tell my story in the way that I should. And I remember at that moment, after I finished, there was a young man that walked up to me. He was from Sudan. Man was a dark-skinned, melanated cat just like me. He walked up and he said, I needed that. I'm trying to tell you, I'm 9,000 miles away from home. I'm experiencing fear in the realest way possible. And I make a real connection with one individual who looked me in the eye in a way that I will never forget and said, I needed you to tell your story. You look like me. You're in that room. I needed that. I needed that. I needed that confidence. I needed that courage. If you're with me, I needed you to step up like that. I know that you had fear in your heart, but you stepped up anyways, and I felt you. He said it straight to me, and from that moment forward, Jackson State family, if I could leave you with one message, any room that you walk into, any situation that you're a part of now, when you're asked to lead in a new way, I ask you right now that the fear that you feel inside your heart subside it for a moment and step up in courage anyways. Step up in courage anyways. That message wasn't for everybody, but it's for somebody. That message isn't for everybody, but it's for somebody. Like you feel the fear. Right? Like you deal with something. You got to step somewhere and you're like, all right, I could deal with this. You know how many times we walk into rooms, especially in these professional settings, and there's so much we have to put behind of what we're dealing with to step into the room in the right way? Can I talk to me? It's the most amazing thing how many individuals step into rooms and they do everything that they need to do, but they are dealing with a lot back here. Talk back to me. And sometimes life is asking us to feel the fear and step up anyways. If you feel me, say yeah. If you feel me, say oh yeah. Give yourself a round of applause if you're going to step up. Oh, I need something. I'm an energy guy. Give yourself a round of applause if you're going to step up this year and show out for Jackson State family. Show out for yourself. Show out for this community. Come for yourself. For yourself. Come on now. Come on now. I got leaders in the room now. This is a celebration of elevation. Come on now. I'm looking for more energy. I need it. If you're going to step up this year in the way in which you know you should, for the people that are around you, make some noise for yourself right now. Come on now. Yeah. Yeah. We make some noise for ourselves, right? It's okay to celebrate yourself right now. It's okay to celebrate yourself right now. I was thinking about this idea, and I was like, man, we got to understand that it is very difficult to pour from an empty cup. Oh, I hit somebody in the back. Someone. It is very difficult for us as professionals, as a team, to pour water from a cup that has no water. So when I say celebrate yourself, I'm literally trying to remind you, not tell you, just remind you that the way in which you take care of yourself is just as important as the way in which you pour into your community. Oh, can I get something? I know that I'm speaking to leaders, to individuals who already have the heart to pour into students. They know that what this year is going to be, but oftentimes we could start pouring and go, why? There's nothing. I'm not pouring from anything. Because sometimes we don't take care of ourselves. Can I get a yeah? Can I get a oh yeah? Right. Leadership is not a title. Leadership isn't. Oh, come on in the back. Leadership is not a title. Leadership isn't. Failure is your teacher. Your adversity is your. Failure is your teacher. Your adversity is your. I like that. I like that. And last but not least, we engage. We engage in the right ways. If you feel me, say yeah. If you feel me, say, oh yeah. I don't know where I am with time. Someone remind me on the time because you got it. You got it. You got it. Can I ask everybody to come to their feet one more time, please? My name is Isaac Serwanga. I am absolutely honored to be with you all today. I wish you all the absolute most success in the world with this next year. I can already feel it. Everybody say, claim it. Everybody say, claim it. Everybody say, claim your greatness. Claim your greatness. Can I get the music? Rock with it. Come on now. Come on now. Now when I say Jackson, you say state. Jackson. Jackson. Now when I say Ella, you say vape. Ella. Ella. When I say Jackson, you say state. Jackson. Jackson. When I say Ella, you say vape. Ella. Ella. Find 3 people, give them a high five. 3 people, say celebrate yourself. 3 people, give them a high five. Hey, hey, hey. Find 2 more people. I need some high fives out here. Find 2 more people. We're connecting right now. Come on now. Hey, 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 hey. Now when I say dream, you say big. Dream, dream. Now when I say dream, you say big. Dream, dream. Now when I say dream, you say big. Dream, dream. Now when I say dream, you say big. Dream, dream. D is for desire and R is for resilience. E is for excellence and A is for ambition. M is for motivation because this is how we dream. Dream big. B-I-G believe in greatness. B-I-G believe in greatness. B-I-G believe in greatness. B-I-G believe in greatness. Repeat after me. B-I-G believe in greatness. B-I-G believe in greatness. B-I-G believe in greatness. B-I-G believe in greatness. Repeat after me. B-I-G believe in greatness. Give yourself a round of applause, Jackson State. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. My mic man. Jackson State, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. Hey. When I say Jackson, you say state. Jackson. Jackson. When I say Ella, you say vape. Ella. Ella. Now when I say Jackson, you say state. Jackson. Jackson. When I say Ella, you say vape. Ella. Ella. Give yourself a round of applause.